Okay, step one is to install this bracket. So orient it just like it is here. You've got a little flag sticking down. You got the pin on the top, and we're on the monitor side of the printer. And you'll take this bracket and make sure that little flange goes right in between the slot between the printer, and then you line up so your screw holes line up on that bracket. So this sits up on top. Now I'm taking this camera shot from on top of the scanner, looking down on the right side of the printer. So again, that little tail goes right in between here, and you put that bracket in, line it up, and then your two screw holes should line up this way. So then you put the two screws in, bracket, we get the screws lined up, and then you just put the one screw in. You may not want to tighten it all the way. Get the second screw started. Line up the screw, then tighten both screws into that bracket.
Too short.
So there are the two screws on. They're mounted tight. You can see I'm trying to get this picture of the two screws. There they are. So on the left side you've got the bracket. On the bracket you want to be oriented just like this. And then it mounts on the left side, so I'm looking by the pearls, the toner pearls. And this bracket again has that little flag right there, and it sits right down in between that slot. So you put that in there. It's very similar to the right side. And now you just mount the two screws that come in from the top. And you get them going. Two screws into this bracket on the left side. Goes in to that bracket. Now there is a third screw that goes into that bracket, and it goes in through the side. It goes in through the side right there. I don't know if you can see that very well. Here, Mark, do you want to? So the bracket on the left has the screw here, and then the two screws, it's kind of hard to see, that go in from the top here. One here and one over there, kind of where my finger's pointing. So three screws on the left bracket, just two on the right. So then once that bracket's installed, the left side has this top cover that goes over on the top of that bracket, and that's installed. There's the cutout in the bracket slides in, and then the screw hole lines up. So and then that screw is put in. It's just one screw that holds that bracket on. Should look just like that when it's installed. On the right side, you also have a bracket very similar to the left side. This part here, let me see so this part of the bracket goes into the little slot. You just need to make sure that it lines up, and then once it's in place, the screw hole will line up, and you put the screw in and tighten that screw down. So that's what that will look like once that bracket's installed. So you've got the little pin here, and on this side, the left side, there's no pin. You've just got the two screw holes here and here. Now this is looking again from the top of the scanner, panning over, looking at the back. You'll see those two screws. And the next piece is this plate. The plate will position and it will hang on the two brackets. So this plate, there's a hole right here in this bracket. This plate goes on just like that. You've got it's cupped up, and there's a screw right there. And the screw, you just put the screw in like that, get it started, and tighten that screw in. And then the same thing on the other side. You might want to leave that screw loose a little bit until you get the screw on this left side. And again, the bracket, you just position, the screw goes right in there, and you get that screw started. And tighten that in so that this bracket piece goes from, this is the left side, all the way across to the right side, and we're just tightening that screw for this bracket. So again, this is from the top of the scanner looking over. That's what it looks like. So now at this point we're going to mount the scanner returns. So again, looking from the top of the scanner over the top. If you look at the top of the scanner from the top, there's these holes. These holes correspond with these brackets. They're slotted, so you line up the slots and it slides into place. Now let me film this from a different angle. So you line that slots up on the back of the scanner, and they'll kind of lock in place, so you just push it down. Now these guides are your return guides. So your paper comes in from the scanner this way, and then it will feed up through, so your original comes back out towards you that way. So that's the plastic return guides on the back of the scanner, just above this metal bracket that we just installed prior to this step. Okay, so the last step is mounting the actual glass, and you want to use these screws to mount the glass.
They're the smaller washer.
They have the smaller washer on them. So the glass is mounted. This is what your glass looks like. You want to have the, okay, so on the left side you've got the two holes with the tab. That'll be the left side of the glass.
On the pearl side.
It'll be the side that has your toner pearls. So you want to take the glass, and on the right side, the little pin actually fits right in between. There's a slot with a hole in it. It's kind of hard to see, but there's these two screws, and right in front of this screw there's a hole on a tab where my finger's pointing. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a hole right below my finger. That hole is where we want this little pin to go. So with a couple of people, it's probably best, you want to line up that hole in the glass. So the idea is to pass the glass over. Okay, you got to back it up a little bit, Mark, and we're gonna have to tip it down. Okay, let's film that again. Go back. Now up. So you bring the glass over, You kind of have to get it on the right position, and there you slide it over. Now that piece is over, so the glass sits up like that. The little pin is slid in, and then on the opposite side, I'm just going to walk behind the printer. So now I'm on the back side of the printer. There's 2 screws that you need to be lined up, and so somebody holds the glass, kind of like I'm doing here, while someone else gets the 2 screws and secures the glass to the bracket. Go down with your bit. There you go. There you go. So now I was just going to put that second screw in, tighten that down. So again, you just tighten those 2 screws up. And so the glass now is mounted. You can let go of the glass. The glass should fold down and raise up. That's how it should be installed. So you have a clear glass on the back of the scanner. Hopefully that makes sense and helps the installation. Okay, so the last step will be to mount this plastic piece on the front of the scanner. It goes in the middle of the front of the scanner, so the step 1 will be to open the scanner lid, and then you want to have the top come up over the top of the scanner, and it buckles into the black part of the plastic, and you just press firmly. You hear it snap in, and that holds that little plastic piece in the front of the scanner. So with that, the installation should be complete.
5A. So this is the top floor.